Hey yo, Ramon Newman here. Congratulations for showing up. You obviously deserve your new Maverick game-changing leadership insight right in there. So this one's going to be pretty spontaneous, so let's get to it. So we're going to talk about spontaneous right action and support. And when I first heard those words, I thought, wow, that's a pretty cool state to be in. And I know I've had experiences of that when I was a track athlete, where you just kind of get the right energy and you make the right move at the right time, or even in relationships you don't know why you say things, but spontaneously they're just the right thing to say. I'm sure you've had that experience yourself, but we've also had experiences where we don't. So how can we have more of that experience of having the right thought at the right time, more spontaneous right action, and more spontaneous support from that? So I'm going to give you 3 keys that I believe are important for developing that state. And the overarching theme here is that the more in tune with yourself in terms of who you are, what you're good at, what you want to become, and what your purpose is, and the more in tune with your environment, both together, integrated together, really provides that platform for spontaneous right action and support. So key number 1 is having a quiet, alert mind. I can hear Sweet Brown. If you don't know who Sweet Brown is, go to YouTube and watch some of her videos. Sweet Brown saying, ain't nobody got time for that. Because right now we're in an information age where we're bombarded from the time we get up to the time we go to sleep with information. And it's fantastic. There's so much knowledge out there. But it does create distraction, right? And it does take away from where we should have our attention sometimes. And also, we're finding that people are having a lot of thoughts these days. A lot of people complain about that, just not able to settle their mind and having too many thoughts. And it's actually been shown that the average person is having about 70 to 90,000 thoughts per day, whereas high-performing people are having about 5 times less, like 15 or 20,000 or even less thoughts per day. So, and when you're in that state, then you are having the right thought at the right time when you have a quiet, alert mind, because you and I are having the right thought and the right feeling at the right time all the time, but when we don't have a settled mind, we're not able to pick up on that. So it is having a quiet, alert, settled mind, and when you have that, you find that nothing's a problem. When you don't have that, everything seems like it's a problem. So this really comes down to brain integration. They've found that world-class people do have a high degree of brain integration, brain, mind, heart integration. So we want to develop more of that. So how do we develop more of that? Well, you obviously want to cultivate that in the morning before you start the day. And I know that sounds a little bit crazy because you get up, you've just been resting and quiet, but this type of restful alertness I'm talking about is during waking state. So you want to cultivate that either through listening to music or reading or writing poetry or painting or going for a walk and getting fresh air in your lungs, or meditating or praying. Any of those things really help you get centered and quiet and awake at the same time. But really the most direct way, natural, simple, effortless way to do that is actually to meditate, because that is what meditation is about. It's a vehicle to allow the mind to settle down and be in that state. Now, there's many different meditations out there, and some of them work in different ways and all that, and you maybe tried some and they didn't work for you, or you tried something and you didn't use it properly or didn't understand how to use it correctly. So I want to encourage you to actually research one particular technique that's endorsed by the American Heart Foundation. Just go to their website and look on relaxation techniques, meditation techniques. They've done a big meta-analysis across many years and many techniques, and found there's one technique that actually has the most profound effect on lowering high blood pressure. So find out what that is. I mean, it's something that Howard Stern and Ringo Starr and Jerry Seinfeld have all used, Clint Eastwood for over 40 years. And if their lives are any indication of the value of that, then it's a pretty good endorsement. Oprah Winfrey and Al DeGeneres also use it with their team. So find out what that is for yourself. I'm not going to tell you directly because I don't want to be like that. So I want you to work it out yourself, and just go and find out information about it and make a decision for yourself and invest in that technique, because by doing that, what you're doing in a very pure sense, it's a very pure sense of giving yourself self-love, self-respect, and developing self-trust. And when you have those qualities lively within yourself, then what you find is that You regard every breath, every moment of your time as precious. You don't have time to waste on superfluous thoughts or distractions here and there, because you have those qualities lively in yourself. So hopefully Sweet Brown is going, hey, everybody's got time for that, and I hope you do too. So the second quality, or the second key to having spontaneous right action and support, is really having the right intention. So out of your quiet, alert awareness, you'll find that you have clear intentions about things, the right intention. That right intention usually has the qualities of giving, right? Giving your time, your attention, your talent, your knowledge, or your money to something. So before you act, before we get into the action part of it, then have a very clear intent that it's a very giving in nature in any of those areas. And then you'll find that creates this law of reciprocity, that it's going to flow back to you. So even before you make an important phone call, put some money in a money tin, and when that money tin's full at the end of the year, give it to charity. Okay? It just cultures that energy, because money is energy. Now the third aspect of it is obviously the action, the execution. Okay? But it's really action and execution without attachment to the fruits of actions. You know, if you're attached to an outcome, then you may be blocking some greater support coming to you, and you create tension in yourself because you're so attached to the outcome. Because we only have control over our actions, not the fruits of our actions. So when you act, you want to also let go and trust, right? And allow the environment also to support you and guide you. So one of the ways to do that is to have the value of leaving yourself alone. Get out of your own way, right? And you do that by taking that inner quietness and alertness and intention and just projecting it. You know, take the attention off yourself and onto your environment. And whether it's a person you're talking to, or you know, the environment that you're navigating, just put all your attention out there and get away from your own smallness and small thoughts and stresses. And then also you want to, you know, just feel your way through the process, you know, and listen and answer both to your own intuition and what's coming back to you from the environment. So that'll really help you cultivate that experience of spontaneous right action. It's like when I wanted to make this video, it's like I got still, I got quiet, I got alert, and then this intention came that I really wanted to share some insights I have about this quality of spontaneous right action and support. And so then I just got up and just allowed this to flow out, you know, as it came to me. So that's your new Maverick game-changing leadership insight for today. It's really about, you know, being able to culture that ability to go from unanticipated moment to unanticipated moment, and just enjoy the flow of life. And this is really important. This is where life is going to. This is where the information age is really taking us to, is that development, that internal development and integration that allows us to have spontaneous right action. So give me your thoughts and comments on this. I'd love to hear your stories about developing this quality, and more power to you for spontaneous right action support. Enjoy.